Yeah. So this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and Saber Sparks channel recommended Digital Circus, the Amazing Digital Circus. So I have seen the first 2 episodes of it, and I'm going to review. I was also talking to Mr. Story on texting him from the cast, and he hasn't seen it, but he will. And I also texted Mark's cards. So we have we have basically, as I would describe this, as either a psychedelic psycho kid, millennial kid's version of Toy Story, or he's on something, or on Prozac meds, or whatever. It's about a virtual reality world similar to that of Reboot and Toy Story, combined with a little bit of killer clowns and a bunch of other things. And it appears to use computer-generated animation, but it's an independent studio called Glitch, and they've done this YouTube TV thing. I don't even think it's exclusive YouTube TV. I think it's just on YouTube, and it was recommended by Saber Spark. He recommended everybody watch it, not just me. I inadvertently watched the second episode first, so I kind of had no idea what was going on. So, but then I went back and watched the first one. The pilot episode, we're introduced to a very nervous, skittish character who's been pulled into the virtual realm. She's sort of a court jester-looking character. The voice actor playing this is like channeling Inside Out, but not ripping it off, just channeling Inside Out and that kind of thing. In fact, that new Inside Out sequel looks like it's channeling some of the characters from Digital Circus as the frantic people in the background. But they're probably not. I don't think this was inspiring them. I think it's a coincidence. The characters in it are quite different from Disney and Pixar, but they are reminiscent of, as if it was a 90s era Pixar movie. They're spoofing it, basically. They're saying, it would be funny if we did like a spoof of Pixar. This evil ringleader guy, ringmaster, is a pair of false denture teeth with eyes inside it, which is hilarious. We have a quirky sort of Happy Tree Friends type little crazy bunny kind of thing in it, like a doll. In the second one, there's like an Australian alligator guy. Sounds like Critical Vitriol a little bit. We also have in the second one a chocolate sludge monster that sounds like Werewolf Fuzzy Face. They're not, but they sound a lot like them. That's awesome. So they're apparently familiar with the great, cool. All right, Glitch, you can subscribe to us if you want to. That's great. That'd be awesome. We'll subscribe to Glitch now. We'll see when any updates come along. So there's you have the thing audio. I can't show any footage from it. Just to keep it on the down low, because I don't do animated footage. I do go motion cartoon things with myself, and I do the voices of my stuff. And we don't use other people's footage, partly because bigger studios immediately flag us, even if we do a review. Like, no, we can't. And I know there aren't that many followers, so anyway. So this little court gesture thing with the little umbrella eye things in there, reminiscent of a. It looks like the Umbrella Corporation is like in her eyes. She's like a person pulled into the virtual world, and there's a Raggedy Ann doll that's all messed up, and it's got like one eye missing. A nod to Coraline and Raggedy Ann and a number of other things. That also is cool. It's a lot of nods, a lot of jokes, crass humor. It's weird, it's surreal humor, but it's clever. It's clever. I can see how Saber Spark would like it. It's right up his alley. It's in his wheelhouse, as they say, in the biz. In his wheelhouse. We have the first one. They have to find a character named Cosmo, who has become lost. They gotta go find him, and Raggedy Ann sort of glitches out, and they gotta go on ahead and find him, even though this girl is freaking out because she can't get to the other side of whatever's going on. The virtual reality is messing with them. They encounter several little block characters and creatures and things, and a floaty gross thing, and a blanket thing, and all sort of funky things. Yeah. This is the kind of show that you would not want to eat on edible pot cookies. You would be on the floor writhing around. So don't do drugs, kids. And so that's kind of the plot of episode 1, is they're trying to get out of that here. Independent studio doing their own thing. Kind of, it's weird. And the second episode, I'm just going to kind of summarize. Everybody's already talked about this. The first episode aired some months ago, officially on YouTube, but apparently goes back to 2023. 2023. It's only 7 months into it. It's only May, so end of 2023. So that's right. The new one just aired in May, so we have this May 3rd one there. So we have that one is the Candy Crush parody, spoofing the Candy Crush games, which were a parody themselves of the Wreck-It Ralph Candy Land thing from the Wreck-It Ralph game, from the Wreck-It Ralph movie. That game was created to sort of mock that, or allegedly. So and Wreck-It Ralph is its own thing anyway. So in the sequel, they're still the little court jester girls freaked out, and it's got to go. I think they're all adults. They're playing very neurotic girls. That's funny in the story, because they get to go. The other one's further. The Raggedy Ann one is further along with her neuroses, and helps her out with her very strange world type of thing. Having come from a school of, I went to a school of children with learning disabilities, junior high and high school, together, Pine Hill School, when I was and then I went on to college at Evergreen, San Jose State. Having done that, this story seems to be the brainchild of some Pine Hill students, current Pine Hill students. It's awesome. That's what it seems to be. It's like all right, or the children of some Pine Hill students. Probably not, but it's definitely in the same ballpark. You know what they say, in the same wheelhouse, in the same vein as Pine Hill students. If this was a role-playing game at Pine Hill back in the 80s, we would have loved it. We totally would have played this, instead of Champions or Star Trek or something. But yes, in the second one, they're in Candy Crush Land, and it's also a spoof of Mad Max. That's awesome. So they go to Candy Crush Palace, and then they go to the queen, the princess. She's all weird looking as a creature. There's all kinds of. There's a king chess piece. That's a king, literally a chess piece. There's the queen thing is a creature. It's sort of another piece. It's a queen, but it's all messed up looking. There's they're ordered by the queen to go and go and rescue a shipment of maple syrup. So it's Canadian, although I think this is an Australian production, so it's not Canadian. They're just spoofing that. So they go they get this truck, and they do they're racing along, and then they do some wacky hijinks, and the little clown girl is kicked around. They're going back and forth. They're gradually doing their thing. So, and Brian says interesting. But yes, and the little Australian, the bandit guys are alligator things, like from Toy Story or something. They look like they're from Toy Story. They kind of do. They kind of have that feel, like the T-Rex from Toy Story. And they're like, I don't know, there's little alligator, like toy alligators from a discount store or something, like a little sort of rip-offs of stuff. I think that's the idea, is they're like bargain store, mall store toys that are in the circus and in the other world that are there. Kind of if you would find in the carts at the mall, when you go around, and there would be like these little funky little trinkets and creatures and things, and funky looking things. You would buy those because they'd be cheap. to entertain your children. Well, what happened to one of those children animated his little figures and made their own little thing as an adult. Um, it's very yeah. So they go on this little Mad Max adventure with the bad guys chasing after them. They've got their own truck, and then they get. And then they go through this swamp thing where the creature, the chocolate creature, pops up and it wants to eat them, like Mr. Mouth from one of Tim Cantrell's stories. Yeah, so that guy pops up and he wants to. It's not him, but it's similar, and he wants to candy guy and he wants to eat them. And meanwhile, the clown girl, gesture girl, has been sucked down into the virtual reality, like the underneath the simulation. She's in there with one of the villains, the bad guy. And he discovers he's an NPC. And he's freaking out. Because his buddies are there, but they're not really there. They're like zombies, and they're like motionless. And there's also those art things, like those art standees, for drawing people correctly. They're the guards in the castle. That's hilarious. Yeah, the second episode, although more kinetic and frantic, and has more interesting ideas, is not as good as the first one. But that's merely because they had to continue the action of the first one. It's fine. It's fun, but it's not. Yeah, it's a little different. They're trying more to be a spoof, and second episode. So it'll get better. But it was very good. But yes. So yeah, they have to get back to the real world and all that. He discovers he's an NPC, and the evil ringleader guy takes him out. And they're back in the circus. So there's like this there's this constant sort of neurosis thing going on. I think also they're kind of implying that this court gesture character in real life is bullied a lot. She goes inside the fantasy thing, kind of like that invisible friend, imaginary friend horror movie, but crossed with also that newer one, the imaginary friend movie, both of which I have not seen. Haven't seen them. Maybe we'll go see IF a little later, but not this weekend, because this weekend is almost over. But we'll see. But this is, it's cool that it's an indie place. It's not a studio, and they've got millions of hits and millions of people to watch it. It probably is associated with some sort of studio over there in Australia, just to get that many hits. I know it's incredibly popular, but millions and then tens of millions. No, there's somebody behind it. But at least it's an indie thing here, so that's fine. There has to be somebody behind it. Yeah, it goes viral. But yes, it's better than a lot of the other stuff out there. It's not really for little kids, though. It's spoofing that it's for little kids. But I think it's probably I would say the rating on it is probably Y14. Are they like teenagers, young teenagers? No, that's probably what it is. It's not for really little kids. It's not like Bluey or something. It's not like Cocomelon for preschoolers. No, this is for teenagers. It's not for little kids to watch. They do cut out the swear words, but you can tell what they're saying. At one point, one of them goes, "You mother." You can totally tell what he said. So yeah, oh no. So yeah, it reminds me of the Toy Story crossed with a little bit of Gumby thrown in there too. A little bit of that sort of dry British sarcasm thrown in there, but with an Australian twist of the sarcasm of the Mad Max movie. And they spoofed the Mad Max movies, and that was just, oh shoot, they're doing Mad Max. That's awesome. But yes, I like how the character interaction recorded in the studio by the animators, the two girl main characters and the evil tooth man, and then the rabbit and everything. The breakout character is clearly the court jester, who's the one that is so full of neuroses that you wonder if she's just gonna like burst and you just like fall down and have like a breakdown or something. But yeah, since it's an animated thing, that's funny. But if it was a real life, it would be bad. But it's an animated cartoon, you know, completely, yeah, animated. So if you're disturbed by that, you probably wouldn't like that. But you probably wouldn't watch it anyway if you were disturbed, because there's a toothed man with eyeballs inside. Running around now. There's a lot of funky, weird things in there. Yeah, it would be like if remember in the original Toy Story in the '90s, Sid would make creatures out of the toys that he dismembered and stuff. It'd be kind of like if the toys from that came to life and did stuff, which would be messed up. If there was like a whole show about the toys that are messed up. But yeah, it's very cute. It's not cute in the sense that it's cute. It's cute in the sense that it's messed up, but in a good way, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it's called the Amazing Digital Circus. That's what it's called in English, and yeah. I don't know them. Not associated with them. There's no behind. It's not like yeah, anything like that. I don't know them. They're in another country on the other side of the earth. And so, yeah, everybody looks like they're about to, like, there's some of these thumbnails are like, my goodness, they're going to, like, fall over to their eyeballs bugging out. Wah! Well, yes, Aging Digital Circus.